everyone. How is everyone? Why is sound glitching as soon as I log on? Work that out. Let's make sure we work that sound issue out before we proceed. Well,
Right.
What is it, Jesse? What you talking about? Jesse. What are you talking about? Okay, so my sound is doing well. Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well on September 12th, 2024. I wanted to come to you today with some case updates. There are quite a few cases that I'm currently following and some that I'm actually kind of courting. And when I say courting, I'm looking into them to see if there's a level of interest for me to A, follow, and B, share it with you guys. But let's jump right in. Colt Gray update. Now, recently, the investigation that occurred regarding his Discord my sound just, so I stopped. I can see it on the screen. Something popped up. Okay, so I can hear myself good. The investigation court from May 2023, there's actual body cam footage. There's actually body cam footage. So we're going to get into the body cam footage to see exactly why his mom and hey Bush Babies and hey Replay Gang, we're going to see why the state of Georgia intends to hold Colt's dad accountants regarding the school and pum. So now, let me get that video queued up. I have it queued up there. Guys, please be sure to smash the like button. I am definitely setting some really serious goals over here. My goal for this channel is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year.
Yeah. Ow.
Okay.
And thanks. Freaking.
Are you calling? I am. You want to step out where we can talk real quick? Okay.
Why is this not playing? Hold on, guys. I have it queued up. Playing. Bear with me, guys.
So we got a tip from the FBI saying that somebody from your old address, their traditions, made a threat to shoot up a school. For real? Yes, sir. And your name was associated with that address. You weren't living there. That address. You weren't living there. Let me get dressed. Sure. Let me get dressed. Sure. When's the door? When's the door?
Working nights.
Working nights.
I at least wear pajama bottoms.
I at least wear pajama bottoms when I answer the door. Unless
it's in the middle of the night.
it's in the middle of the night.
And I usually have a gun in the hand.
I usually have a gun in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a over on Davenport Road. Guy stumbled through this person's yard, knocked on the door, When he left, he walked through a fence and tumbled into the ditch, lost his phone. So I picked his phone up, and it was one of those last calls. So I just put it in an evidence bag, and I was like, man, it was on the weekend, so I was like, nobody's gonna be messing with this. So I put it in an evidence bag, forgot to take it by the office, went home. Had somebody showing up on my doorstep at 2 o'clock in the morning, beating on the door. Wife comes in there and like, hey, there's somebody at the door. Went out there, they're gone, but I called Griff. He came out there and checked it out.
Sorry, boys. That's all right, boys. Sorry, I've got to watch some golf tournament. That was it.
Yeah.
So what? Tell me what. You have any kids or anything? Cole?
Yeah, Cole.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Play a lot of video games?
Yeah, he does.
Right all the time. Is he here right now? Think it's something?
I damn sure want to know.
Can you talk to him?
Yeah. Absolutely. Now look, he gonna get all talk to him. It's just calm.
Right.
So we're all right.
Now, his dad had knowledge on May 23rd, 2023, that there was a concern presented via his Discord, the occult's Discord, because the FBI and investigators met with him at his residence to address the situation. This is why the state of Georgia intends to press charges, well, has pressed charges, I should say, against the dad because of this prior investigation, which created prior knowledge.
Let me give you a backstory. So we lived over at Traditions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to work one day. I'm sole provider. Build high rises downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a call from one of y'all, like, so my family's in law enforcement, so when I'm trying to think the officer's name, turns out, nicest guy, like, ever. He's like, I just want to let you know I'm at your house. I'm like, for what? He said, y'all have been evicted. I'm like, he's like, nope. He's like, I'm gonna stay here till you get here, so I drove all the way home. All my shit's in the front yard. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'll just let you know this is what's going on. There's people standing there with trailers and shit. And I'm like, what are they doing? He's like, well, they're going to get your stuff after 24 hours. Is that right? Like, I don't even know why y'all are here. So, long story short, I'm like, trying to figure out what's going on with my wife. She's in the house. So we split, long story short, for obvious reasons. She took my younger two and went back home, lived with her mom. Colt and I rented a house and came here.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been good, like no problems. He struggled at first with separation and all. School was kind of so-so. So I've been up at school countless times just tracking with him, you know, like, hey, make sure you're good. They understand what's going
He go
on.
to Jefferson?
He goes to Jefferson Middle School. So he's been doing really good. Like, you know, in the beginning he kind of struggled a little bit, but
Let me ask you this: Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you, if that is what was said. But
well,
hell, we've been up to the school for so many times now.
The information I got was sort of incomplete, and I don't know how old it is. And like I said, the original complaint went to your other address, or your previous address, and that's where we just came from, and it wasn't them.
Yeah, no, I'm sure
So,
it wasn't.
I don't know if it's so we ran I had your name, date of birth, so
Yeah.
that's how we got this address. So
I mean, I swear to God, we've been up to school. I've been up to school, like, I'm on first name. I just was up there 3 days ago for his finals, talking to the principal, like, look,
yeah.
make sure Colt's good. He gets flustered and under pressure. He doesn't really think straight. And we just, just kind of put your arms around him, get him through 7th grade. I just want to make sure he's good. Like, I mean, we're up there all the time talking to school. If you talk to that school, they'll know exactly who I am. I'll say that.
Okay.
I mean, because I'm up there that much,
Checking in on him.
Yeah,
Make sure
I just want to make sure he's good.
Yeah.
So I'm a little taken back by the whole thing, but I can tell you this, I take that very serious, and so does he, as a matter of fact. He's
Say his first name.
LT, yes sir.
I mean, all I can do is ask him.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, I want you to talk to him and just tell him. Like, I don't know anything about him saying any shit like that, and I'm gonna be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away, and they won't be accessible to him. I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how to do it all. Get him interested in the outdoors, like on my phone.
Get him away from those video games.
Exactly right. That's the God honest truth. And the picture on my phone is him with blood on his cheeks from shooting his first deer. It was just the greatest day ever.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
he knows the seriousness of weapons and what they can do and how to use them, not use them. So
10-4. Me no need.
it's kind of a little bit of a shock. So in whatever y'all are telling him, please instill in him that if this is wherever this is coming from, it's no joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's no joke.
But we wouldn't be here if it was.
No, I know, and I'm telling you right now, we talk about it quite a bit. All the school shootings, things that happen.
Yeah. Scary.
Hey, are you getting picked on at school? He is. He's getting picked on at school, and is everything okay? That's why I keep going up there.
So he's being picked on at school. But I want to be very clear to the audience and to anyone who may catch this video. He was brand spanking new to the high school that he went into with the present that his father gifted him after this investigation, and unalived 2 teachers and 2 students. So he didn't really have an opportunity or time for people to pick on him in this particular school. So whatever trauma he experienced as far as bullying or people picking on him was at a school in Jackson County. They moved from their Jackson County home address to a Borough County address where Colt hadn't been to school per reports for like 2 weeks, and the puming happened on his second day in attendance. So, it's just, I get where the father, I guess I can kind of get where he's coming from with the bullying and things like that. But again, the individuals that he targeted more than likely had nothing to do with his bullying.
You never really know. You never really know, and I don't want anything to happen to him. So.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Or we can go in. And it's up to you.
Cool. Hang on.
What information you have?
Hey, Cole, what's going on, bud? So did Dad kind of explain everything to you? Did you say something about school shooting? Maybe they misheard somebody else. You never ever said. Do you use Discord? I used to. When's the last time you used it? Was it in traditions?
Was it a tradition?
No, it was a tradition.
Or was it here?
No, it was just workout that I had. Before you moved here. Yeah, because I think it got like. Have you heard anybody in Discord when you were using it? Have you heard anybody using it? Say something like that? At that time? Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I ever had anybody.
And I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody. I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up.
Oh, he knows how serious it is. Oh, he knows how serious it is.
I'd hate to. My boss was leaving like, I don't know how old this information is. I don't know how old this information is. I'm gonna wait till Monday to follow up. I'd rather do it now. God forbid something happen. Because God forbid something happened and I didn't know. I'd feel pretty bad about that. So I just want to make sure you understand that if something like that happens or you hear something like that, tell your dad, tell teachers.
Like I told him,
So you haven't used Discord in a few months, and you're saying you didn't say anything.
No, the only thing I have is TikTok, but I just go down there and watch videos.
Fair enough. What's your birthday? All right, well, fair enough.
What's your birthday?
It's okay.
He's just gonna do a little report. Saying that we've done in reference to this, and that we talked to them, saying that I take it at your word. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's not unusual for people to lie to people.
Hey, Colin, what's a good phone number for you, sir?
A calm better girl. You is a girl.
Plug the phone back in.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. About ready to get done with it? Oh, you did?
I actually already finished.
Oh, you did? When was your last day?
Sunday,
Friday. What grade you going into? Almost high school. 8th grade, almost high school, man. The last 4 years, really, the last 4 years is what matters. Get them good grades, man. Get them good grades, man. It'll set you up for the rest of
Yeah, so look, and you all are welcome any time we come here. I want to make sure that I didn't feel better. Do you find out what or where? Like, can somebody let us know?
Sure.
He's gonna be full of anxiety until this gets resolved. I can tell you that right now.
So did you switch schools when you moved from Traditions? Where were you going before?
Middle.
West Jackson Middle?
Is things a lot better now?
Is things a lot better now?
That's good.
Okay.
Let me grab you. Let me grab you one. Can I walk through the grass and grab you one?
Are you getting bullied over there at West Jackson Middle?
Oh, yeah. Now, look.
Be honest with him about that. Now, I told him you were now.
Getting switched out halfway through the school year? Being the new guy?
Well, my dad was a
Well,
logger.
my dad was a logger and grew up in the military. We moved a lot when I was a kid. So. No.
Well, there's always somebody you can talk to.
Well, there's always somebody you can talk to if you need to.
Resource counselors.
School resource counselors.
Yeah, and I do talk to them. Yeah, I take counselor for it also.
Okay.
Start looking out and making
Yeah,
goals.
start looking out and making goals for yourself.
You interested in anything?
You interested in anything?
What?
What? A philosopher.
Well,
Yeah.
do what you enjoy.
Well, do what you enjoy.
Terry,
I mean, I did 20 years in the military. You don't have to settle on just one thing.
Terry retired.
Did 20 years in the military, retired from that, and been doing this for 7.
You don't have to fit everything inside the
You don't
box.
have to fit everything inside the box.
We got guys at the sheriff's office.
We got guys at the sheriff's office, or full-time plumbers, full-time police officers, and you know,
Do what pays the bills.
do what pays the
Do
bills.
what they enjoy.
Do what they enjoy.
But everything's going good.
But everything's going good.
That's good.
That's good.
You got a phone?
You got a phone?
What's your phone number?
What's your phone number? Okay. All right.
Dad said you went deer hunting.
Dad said you went deer hunting for the first time this past year.
Get
What'd you get?
3-pointer,
3-pointers?
fork on one side and one on the.
Fork on one side and a prong on the other, or yeah,
Fork on one side.
yeah,
one on
fork
the other.
fork on one side and one on the other. Spike. Yeah.
I've seen more.
I've probably seen more one antler deer this year than any other time in my
Stop doing
life.
that.
out there and
Out there in rut and breaking off an antler.
just
Run around with just
one set of antlers.
one set of antlers.
Look, Cole, I appreciate it. Look, Cole, I appreciate it. Your dad's got my card. I think if you hear anything, tell your dad. Okay, you got my number. You can ask me
It's serious. He knows how serious it is. And he'll, like I said, we'll have a long conversation here in just a little bit. And it's a pretty traumatic thing that we went through now. He was at school, I was at work. Come home and I mean every what we had yard was on the tarps and sitting in that solid clientele and neighbors that live in it. Totally embarrassing. So it was very traumatic for both of us, and living here just us. Dust is finally settled. He's making good grades. So
That's good. We'll keep that up.
we'll start talking about traditions in West Jackson and just see if something jogs his memory. Certainly we'd like to know if something.
Well, my thing is this. Well, my thing is this. More than likely, they track the IP. More than likely, they track the IP address. Okay. And that's why we went to that. IP address usually, because the IP addresses are usually location specific. Yep. You know, within an area. So if it came from that house, then either somebody there is lying, or the information is so old.
Yep.
You know, maybe something heard or did on Discord months ago. I don't know. I have no idea. But he's telling me he can't remember anything like that. I take that to work. If you look me in the eye and you tell me that's what you're telling me, I got no choice to take it. Like I was telling Dad, to find out otherwise.
That's a really different story.
Give me my charger. Come
You have
here.
any questions? No, sir. You have any questions?
I told you to stop it.
Good luck to you.
Appreciate it, sir.
Y'all be safe.
Good luck to you. It don't matter. It's just going to be information. Our agency has just made contact with these people.
They had no
They had no idea. The husband said they had been on Discord since fantasy football, and then Colin made contact with him, and then brought his son, got his date of birth, brought him out, spoke to him.
Okay,
Apparently
so
he was getting bullied.
they're closing out the incident as they visited, made contact with the minor and his father. Both of them, if you guys notice, Colin and Colt denied even the thought and or idea of him puming a school in, real life, or him even making those threats, even in jest. He said he would never. So this interview happened when he was 13. Fast forward to present day, at age 14, he chose to walk into his high school and become someone who goes down in history as another school Pumer. Now, interestingly enough, Colt's mom has spoken out. She actually contacted the school. I want to say, what did they say? 30 minutes? Was it 30 minutes? Yes, I think it was 30 minutes. 30 minutes prior to the entire event happening, she reached out to the school. She asked, this critical crisis situation. Oh, did I just? Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. That I didn't mean to do. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go.
More about the life of...
Hold on a second. Hold on one second. Un momento, por favor. Let me see. I am so sorry, guys. Bear with me. Hold on. Why is this messing with me right now? Just a moment, because this... All right, there we go. Now I'm ready.
But first, we are learning a lot more about the life of the accused 14-year-old Appalachia High School shooter. First, a prior threat identified by the FBI that led law enforcement to speaking with the shooter and his father more than a year before the massacre. And now the 14-year-old's mother is speaking out. What does she have to say about what happened? We take a closer look.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. We're going to talk about the Georgia case, the Appalachia High School shooter. But before we start talking about all that, you always have to take a step back and remember what happened and remembered that their lives mattered, the 4 victims. Because you know, I know, once these cases get inside our system of justice, sometimes the victims kind of left on the side a little bit. People don't really focus their attention there, and it's not their fault. You just have to take a moment to remember. If 4 people should be with their families tonight, and they aren't. 2 teachers dedicating their lives to helping other people's children, and then 2 children who don't have the opportunity to grow up and make their mark in the world. And it's sad and it's tragic, and it's what the case ultimately is about in the big picture. But as you zoom in, as our system of justice digs its claws into the case, It's going to be the accused shooter, his life that is on trial, his life that everyone is talking about from all different perspectives and trying to understand why this happened, who he was, what we're learning about what he was saying, when he was saying it, what he was doing, what he was doing it with, who he was doing it with. So many questions. And we have those questions, and they're legitimate questions. One, you've got to prove a murder case, 4 murder cases against him. And number 2, we got to look at the bigger picture and the issue of why these children continue to do this. And we try to take what we can from each tragedy to try to learn something and prevent the next tragedy. But you know, the learning is very limited because it continues to happen. But it's his life that'll be on trial, and we'll be taking a closer look at his life. And the one place we're beginning is with his co-defendant, his father, who was warned by police. The shooter was warned as well, but it had no effect whatsoever. The FBI tracks down the IP address of someone who made a threat that there were going to be a school shooter, they were going to be famous like the kid from Sandy Hook, and then they were going to take their own life. So this is like mass murder and suicide is what's being discussed on this social media app from an IP address that is connected to the shooter and his dad. It's a prior address where they lived. And Dad was told about this. Now, we can argue, and I'll argue a lot about the tone of that conversation. It was not a wake-up call for Dad. It was like both sides lulling themselves to sleep and not really knowing what's going on. But I thought the FBI identified this very troubling social media discussion from the IP address from the house. But for whatever reason, nothing happened. There was a mild discussion, lasted about 15 minutes, and then it was over. Then everyone forgot about it, including the father, who apparently wasn't concerned, didn't think it was his son that did it, and decided a few months after being visited by police about his son potentially posting about a school shooting, going and purchasing him a gun. So there's going to be a lot of looking at the father because he's a defendant and he's charged with murder, and if he's convicted, he'll die in prison. So we'll be picking apart everything that he knew and when he knew it. Now, from the video, it seems that he was living with his son, just the two of them, at the house that they were visited by police. But he's also got a mother. He's got 2 other siblings as well. And now the mother is speaking out. Now, you notice the photo we have of Mom. That's not from a beauty contest, that's a mugshot. So she has quite a history herself, and that's part of the peeling back the layers of this 14-year-old's life, what he was living in. Not a justification, just trying to understand it all. Now, prior to this shooting, the alleged shooter texted his mother, and the message was pretty simple, but alarming. Quote, "I'm sorry." Now, according to the mother, that same morning, the alleged shooter's teacher emailed her about him making references of a school shooting. Whoa! Whoa! He's talking about a school shooting in class? We've got to take a closer look at that. Everyone's going to be concerned about that. As a result, she called the school and warned them of the threat. Okay, can someone call 911, please? Someone? She described all of this in an interview she did with ABC News. Let's take a look.
The counselor said, well, I want to let you know that earlier this morning, one of Colt's teachers had sent me an email that said Colt had been making references to school shootings. Between my gut feelings, the text messages, and now this email, y'all need to go, like, run to the classroom.
The more we learn, the more frustrating all of this gets. Now, this is all happening in the morning, right? And the shooting is very early in the morning as well. It's in the 10 o'clock hour. So I can understand to a certain extent how this still could have happened with all these warnings, but see, nobody's on the same page here. Like, I don't think anyone at the high school had any idea about the police visit more than a year before at his prior middle school about this threat, because nobody's talking to each other.
I don't think it's an adults not talking to each other problem. He was in a new school district. I think his teachers should have taken action for sure, but I don't think it was people not talking to each other per se, because that investigation was handled and closed out by authorities. It didn't stem from an actual school. It stemmed from, it's not like he had this behavior within the school. It was on a Discord. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I don't know. But at any rate, I wanted to just share with you that the mom did come forward and speak out, because she did indeed reach out to her son's school in an effort to just, I guess, maybe she, in her gut, she felt that something was going on, especially with his message, his ominous message. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. Just out of the blue. So it's, I don't know. I think her gut kicked in there. In her mind, she said, you know what? Something's not right. And while he may have had a hard time, a hard upbringing, that doesn't excuse his behavior. That doesn't excuse his decision, the decision he made to go into his high school and unalive innocent students. So it's just, I don't know. I'm ready, and I'm ready to follow this case from gavel to gavel, beginning to end. I want to hear what they're going to argue in his favor. I want to see what they're going to argue in his favor. Hold on.
Mental health. Okay. But we can't do it.
Ready. Give me a moment. There we go. So now the next video. This video is related to the next case that I'll be following, Sonia Massey. For those of you who are not familiar with the Sonia Massey case, I guess you have been under the same rock that Donald Trump has been under. And I say that in jest because he was asked about this situation with Sonia Massey, and he basically skirted and danced around the issue to the effect of like he saw something about it. But I mean, you can't be a presidential candidate and not know what's going on within your country. So I'm going to call him out on that one. But Sonia Massey was a 36-year-old woman who, according to documents, may or may not have been struggling with mental health issues. She called 911 because to complain of a prowler. She had called 911 to complain of a prowler, and ultimately Officer Sean Grayson pumed her after instructing her to pick up a pot of hot boiling water off the stove. Then he claims that he was concerned because she said she was going to rebuke him in the name of Jesus and had a pot of boiling water in her hands, which he instructed. Again, he instructed her to pick it up. But there is body cam footage of Sonya Massey 16 hours prior to that fatal unaliving by this officer that was put into position to serve and protect, took an oath of office to serve the community, uphold the Constitution and all of it, the people's rights there within. But let's take a look at this body cam video, 16 hours prior to Sean Grayson's visit. Then we're going to get into an update, a small update on Sean Grayson's case.
How you doing, ma'am? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? I'm sorry. Derry? Okay.
I know.
And are you Sonya?
Yeah, I know.
What's going on?
I just want my stuff and I give it to me.
Do you live here?
No.
Okay. Have you been staying here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they made sure my water is off, my gas is off, my lights is off.
I thought you lived at this house.
No.
Where's your other house?
Hoover.
On Hoover?
Maybe they made sure my lights is off, my water is off, my gas is off.
So you don't
I
have
got
any
the money to pay for everything. Keeping me.
Where's your son at?
I don't know.
What do you have inside that you want to get?
My clothes and stuff, y'all.
Okay. Just some clothes?
Y'all the angels. Look at it.
And who's inside now?
Look at it.
Okay.
I'm not lying. Look at it.
Okay. So you have clothes inside, right? You have somewhere else to go today?
I have a house.
Okay, and that's where you're going to go
I've been there for 6 years. I used to live down there 5.
Okay. Who's inside?
My mom, my aunt, some uncles and cousins, and all.
Okay.
I need y'all help.
Okay, do you mind just hanging here with him and I'll go speak with him real quick? Okay, give me one second. Hi there. I wasn't here yesterday. He might have been. What's been going on?
She's been going crazy, and this is the first time it's ever happened, so I don't know.
Okay, did you call us? All right. So, okay. So she's saying she has some clothing here. Do you know what she's talking about?
She got this is her bag. This is her bag.
Okay.
And I was told by the mental health people, she'd been to a facility last week.
Okay.
She's voluntary, you know that we can't commit anybody anymore, they have to do it themselves. She volunteered. So she went, and then they took her to St. Louis because that's the closest facility that we take her to.
Okay.
Belleville or something like that. And then she was out within 24 hours. She released herself. Then they brought her on back. because now it's voluntary
Okay.
to commit yourself. So when she decided that she's okay and come back, she's not okay and she's not back.
Yeah. And she doesn't live here, right? Okay. She didn't say she did. I'm
This is my
just.
sister that she lives here.
Okay.
And she's
Hi
not
there.
in her house.
Okay. You guys, that's what she said. So she did say that. You guys just want her removed, is that all? You just want her out of here?
No, we just want her to get some mental help.
Okay.
But we can't do it because
It's all
she
voluntary.
has to volunteer.
We can't take this screaming and
We just can't take
Yeah.
it no more.
No, I don't
We're about
blame
to
you
go
guys.
crazy too.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys. I
I'm
think
about to jump out.
I believe we have some medical personnel on the way as well, just to kind of check her out. She's doing okay. I believe we do. So I think they're on their way right now. I think he's kind of talking to her now, probably about how she's feeling and what's going on. Is this all of her belongings?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I can.
That way she doesn't come, walking back over here later looking for it or something for you guys.
Well, we're not.
Thank you.
It's not that bad. We just want her to be okay. This is okay. We're gonna keep this. This is all we got.
Okay.
Alright, and this is her speaker.
She's sporadic. And I've never seen her like that.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind me asking, what is she saying? Is she like suicidal at all, or is she?
No, she just says she sits up and she cusses, and she says, "My daughter's dead, her dad's dead. Somebody got her." And then she said her son, he's dead already. I mean, these kids are with their dad.
So they're
And I'm
not
sure
dead.
they're okay.
Okay.
I'm sure they're okay. But just kind of outbursts, and just slamming stuff. Don't do that at my house, please.
Yeah.
And she says okay and stuff, but then she turns around and does the same thing all over.
She's bipolar and
Yeah, she definitely is.
Has she been diagnosed with that?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I diagnosed her because I had her out of my body. I raised her by myself without her dad. And I know this is not my daughter.
Yeah.
This is not that one. She has two personalities, a very sweet one, and then she'll flip this script and she'll turn into Shiva.
Okay. And is she on any medication or anything?
Yes.
She is on medication?
Antidepressants.
Okay.
She has medicine, so she takes a lot of medicine.
And she has lupus, and she has all that stuff. She's got a lot of stuff going on inside her.
She has kidney disease, and that alone, is not feeling.
Sir, come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Please shut that door. Thank you. Just
We don't want no flies.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I can hold on to it.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
And does anything specific like spark this in her or start this out?
No,
Okay.
because we were like she cried all.
Was she here all night?
Yes, because her stuff is not appropriate at her house right now.
Yeah.
And I don't mind. This is my niece. So, like I told her, you ain't got to worry about us hurting you or doing anything like that.
That's all she's worried about. That she's
Like
paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
She's not suicidal, and she's not gonna hurt nobody else, but she's sporadic,
She will talk to you.
and she thinks everybody's against her.
How's her son doing?
Not good. He's sporadic too because she has drove him nuts.
Yes, he's come over and tried to help her, and she cussed him out and told him,
They almost had to take him in the
Oh, yeah, I was there last week. That was me.
You remember that? The poor thing?
Yeah.
She keeps calling him all night, all day,
and
every
he
day.
come over, and then she put him out. What is it? She said, Mama, I don't know what to do.
She's saying, you're gonna kill me, you're gonna, you made.
So we don't have, like, when she's, I understand, like, where she's at right now, that she's not right, but we don't have enough to take her against her will anymore.
I know.
Alright?
I know.
And last week we got her to go voluntarily.
Yeah. And she said she needs help.
Yeah.
And I hope she keeps saying that.
Yeah.
But she doesn't, like I told her, I said, you get the help. I said, I want to son you back there. I know.
It might take somebody trying to apply for a power of attorney over her, a medical power of attorney,
because she might end up having to do some type of inpatient basis just so she can get leveled out.
Yeah.
Because if she's not getting leveled out when she's on her own,
Does she have to volunteer to do that?
not so. So that's the thing. If you were able to, if someone is able to apply for their medical power of attorney and it's granted, then it wouldn't matter what she
How do
does.
you get it granted?
You gotta go. You gotta apply through it. You gotta apply through it through court. Through court. At the courthouse. So, yeah.
By the time we do that, she'll be dead, I'll be dead, somebody's gonna be hurt.
Well,
That's not gonna happen.
but that's kind of the next step, because in order for her to go into an inpatient program to get her leveled out completely, it's going to she's either going to have to choose to do it, or someone's going to have to be a power of attorney over her and make it happen.
And how do you do that? That's
You gotta apply through the court.
And not, we need this done like overnight.
They're open today. But we're gonna go out there and talk to her and see if she'll go willingly, and then if not, it sounds like her plan is to go back over to Hoover.
Okay.
But I mean, we can't.
Yeah, I understand. We understand. This is hopeless. We can't.
It's not hopeless. It's exhausting. It's a long process, and that's unfortunately that's how mental health is. And it all it takes is her. If she is on medication, her medication dosage.
She ain't been taking it.
Well, anytime it takes time for it to work.
Yeah.
And then any time that it doesn't always work. So like that, she'll have to have like continuous communication with her.
Well, we don't
provider.
even know what her medication is. All she takes is 3 pills a day, and I know that's not her medication that she needs for her mental health.
So you might have to go and apply for the power of attorney, because it's just going to continually be in that state until until she can get leveled out.
Because I'm about to go nuts.
Well, I don't.
Why you let me run this shit? I mean,
It's not something that we can do. We'll go talk to her, all right?
There's another bag? Is that what you said?
Is there another bag you said? All right, here. No worries. I got it.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to interject here. This report being in the police system 16 hours prior to Sean Gray's arrival at Sonia Massey's door, you would think there's a CAD report. A CAD report is each time an officer is called out to your home. They create one, it's in the system, all of the officers can see it. So if he created a CAD report for this instance, Sean Grayson would have been able to easily see that there was something going on with Sonia Massey's mental health. But he didn't want to check it. He didn't check anything.
I can get it once I get home. Okay.
The door is open and it's in a big ass dog to get me, but I start praying and I rebuke it and touch me.
Me and dogs get along. It'll be all right. I like big dogs. I got a Mastiff at home. Thing's huge.
What's the number?
I would like to get a dog,
Yeah.
but a big one.
So when you went and talked to them last week, right? Because you went to the hospital. Did they ever set you up with any medications or anything?
Yes.
All right, how are we doing on that?
I've been taking them and I got them written down.
Okay. Are we taking them consistently how we're supposed to?
I can show you all the time.
All right.
But I've been writing it down. But they took my pill for the Everything in it.
Who took that?
And
Is it in one of these bags?
I got pill bottles right now because they got my pill sorter.
Okay.
My daughter just put my pills in my pill sorter.
Have you took your pills for today?
They haven't gave me a chance to get my life together yet. But
Well, so, and I'm just, okay, we'll get it in a second. If you want to just put it down. So it seems like you might have got off of your dosage a little bit, because some of the stuff you're saying is not really making sense. And I know it makes sense to you. But what time are you supposed to take it every day?
I got it written down for the times that we take it. Because they've been trying to throw me off track. I got it written down.
Is there possible you might have got off track just a little bit?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Nope. They want me to be off track. But what's funny is when
we don't want you off track. We want you getting to where you're good to go.
She told me no. There's nothing wrong with her. We can't do nothing. Not even if y'all wanted me to. We can't. I'm telling y'all this today that I'm gonna go my past. And I got released. God, nothing wrong except I need to get away from here.
Okay.
She's drinking. So we don't get.
Why were you here crying all night?
Y'all know why. I wasn't crying all night.
That's what I'm being told. Okay.
I was uncomfortable. I don't feel safe.
Is that because of the issues at home with the power, water?
I got it. They won't let me do it. I had an appointment already. They made me miss it. I can show y'all that. They're making me miss my appointment. The lady gave me a Helping Hands appointment. But they got my phone. She gave me all the stuff I needed.
What's your plan for the day?
Get my stuff on.
Where you can go?
I'm gonna get it on. I got it on.
What are we getting on?
Hot water.
Okay.
Get some food. They want all my food. But I can get some food. Get away safely. I don't have no siblings, y'all.
What's making you feel unsafe?
I need to get away from here.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all against me. They're not with me.
Well, I talked to them. It sounds like they're concerned about your well-being.
They tried it yesterday.
What they try yesterday?
They tried it, and then this happened. The day before. Sorry. They tried it.
So this has happened yesterday. You talked to. So they've been right before the July 4th.
And they've been keeping me. And I've been taking my medicine, writing it down. I got it written down.
When's the last time you took your medicine?
It's written down. Last night. I didn't get a chance to do anything yet. I gotta eat too. Because if I don't eat, no.
Are you wanting to go in and talk to some doctors today? No?
I just want y'all to help me get away from me. I promise y'all got it. Y'all just need to let me go. I'll go straight to the courtesies name to pay my stuff. I got all my bills.
Can you tell me what year it is?
2014. I'm sorry, 2024. I'm sorry. Y'all, I've been crying. My eyeballs out.
What city are we in?
Springfield, Illinois.
Okay. Who's the president?
Biden.
All right. I give you 4 quarters. How many dollars are you going to give me?
Got y'all. Y'all got me. Y'all got me.
So I don't have any reason to keep you here. I'd love to get you any other services that are all set up, right?
Beautiful. I had a dream about you too.
Is this all your stuff here?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Y'all got my medicine? It's the medicine and pill bottles on the table.
We can ask her about the
You can
medicine.
check.
Get my medicine. And they got my pill bottles. They got my pill sorter, y'all. With everything I need in it.
They're checking on that for you.
They got my stuff.
They're checking on medicine right now.
And I gave them my stuff. Let me show you something. Tell you something. Where is that at? Let me show you what I gave them. I can't find it now. Hold on. They got me. What's on here? That's how God works. Do nothing. They got my firearm.
Okay.
Two.
Who does?
They do.
Okay.
I got my gun card. What else do they got? They got,
When were you born, honey?
1988.
Okay, how month and day?
Thank you.
And have you signed this tablet? It's just saying you don't want to go to the hospital with us today?
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Hallelujah. Y'all gonna be so blessed. See you. Watch this. Bless you from me. I don't want to.
You don't want to? That's okay. You don't have to go with us. It's just saying you don't want to go.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Now, if you ever do want to go, the resources are there for you.
Yeah, you can go back.
I need to call to get my stuff for y'all.
Is that your water and your power?
Can you check one of these grocery bags to see if your meds are in there before we get out of here?
Look, y'all, I need to smoke weed on the rag.
That's good. That's good.
My current year with a cigarette.
Of course, thank you
I
guys.
drink all my detox
918.
Okay.
honey.
Yep, thank you guys.
It's tripping. Help me.
Thank you.
Well, we're trying to help you.
I know y'all got me. Y'all got me. I know y'all got me. Y'all trying to find my medicine.
There's another bag in this one.
It's a fun one to spell.
Her stuff, y'all. That's some of my mom's stuff.
You as well.
That's some of my mom's stuff.
You can call 911 if you do end up in a
That's what they told me too. They said I.
So they called EMS out to assess her at this time, but she declined to go with them, which I kind of wish she had gone with them, because they would have probably put her under a 72-hour hold, and then she would have missed the visit by Officer Sean Grayson. For those of you who are coming in just now, this is body cam footage of Sonia Massey 16 hours prior to Sean Grayson, the officer that unalived her. This is 16 hours prior to that. And had she went with medical, she would have probably still been here with us. And if he would, there's a CAD report. There is, anytime the police are called to your home, there's a log, an active log that the police officers can pull up from their computers in their car. This is not something that's at the office. This is not something they have to get a subpoena or get a judge to give them access to. They all have access to this information. So it's just very unfortunate that he did not, one, check the CAD reports to see that she had mental health issues, or two, followed his oath of his office to protect and serve.
I needed y'all, and I knew I didn't know what to do. My baby was hollering and screaming.
It's just unacceptable what he did.
Over there. Over there. Yeah, I'm telling y'all everything, okay? Tell me y'all.
Is that your medication there?
No, this is my stuff.
Okay. Is your medication in that bag?
That's my stuff, y'all. They don't got my meds. It's in there on the table.
Did you look underneath everything?
They ain't got my meds.
Okay.
They got my meds. In there on the table.
I'm saying it's in there on the kitchen table.
Nope, in the living room.
Living room table.
Look, y'all. I've been doing mass. Bringing my Bible. They tried it. Still, they got my stuff. The whole pill sorter. Still looking.
See your pill. Did you check it this one yet?
Oh, here go this. Boom.
Okay.
And I took all of them.
Okay. You have your pill divider?
Yeah. They got it. And they've been had it for a while.
Check this bag. Did you check this bag for that?
It's like red with white.
Okay.
They got my other stuff too, which is spooky, you know. They got. Look how she did my bills. Look how she did my bills, like she was gonna help me. But she not helping me. But here's her.
We can't find it. I don't know what to do with it.
My planner.
Yeah.
See, it's written down with my medicine.
They went, yeah.
Okay.
But it's so big, how can you miss it?
I got my
We don't
medicine
see
top
it.
that I took written down. That I
But
took.
we don't want your medicine.
But where's my notepad so they can see the last time I took my medicine? Really? Really? Y'all, please. Go see what when I took my medicine.
Notebook in there? Is the notebook in there? Not seeing it.
And the planner I got the things that my kids need and stuff like that. I got a planner.
Well, I can't help that you replace it because we don't want your medicine. We're not drug addicts.
Does that bag over there have her notebook in it by chance?
That bag, please go get that bag because we need to switch stuff. This mostly, they done mix my stuff.
Is that her bag as well up there?
That's the one who needs
not.
to go. My mom.
So your divider isn't in there?
No, I got a planner too, y'all. It's a planner. I got to put my kids in. Right there, boom. See? That's not the right stuff, y'all. Mine. You feel me? You feel me? Why did they give me this stuff? You know, most of it ain't mine.
They said all that's your stuff.
They got some more stuff. Look what she got. Let's see what she got. I ain't lost my mind. Like I said, all the other medicine is gone. I got a pill sweater. And then,
You got the one bottle.
see when I took my medicine, they got the notepad too. Like I'm writing it down. I take it 3 times a day. It's a little notepad where that table was, and I write down each time I take my medicine to keep track.
What color it is? Do you remember what color it is?
It got like little pictures on it. It's a little notepad. Like,
What color is that? Okay. What color is the divider?
my planner.
Yes.
You will see it's a thick, nice planner with flowers and stuff. It's beautiful. It's like a blessed planner.
What about the divider with your medicine in it? What color is that? Your divider with the medicine?
It's red and white.
It's red and white?
The top is red. It's similar to hers, but mine is bigger than hers.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Can I put this right there?
Is this your car?
Yeah, and try to get her stuff out that ain't mine.
I would say put your stuff over there for now.
Okay.
We'll see if we can find your medication.
I got my medication.
You have all of it?
I've been taking it out this bottle.
Okay. So
They won't give me. Come here. Oh, I got a piece over there. I got lupus real bad.
Okay.
And ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
Come here. I want you to see. They're hiding my medicine and trying to make sure I don't take it on time. But I've been taking it on time from the pill bottle and stuff.
Okay. Speaking with them, it definitely seems like they're concerned about you. So I don't think they're doing
They did the
that.
same thing when I got the release papers.
Okay.
Yep, they did the same thing.
Is that bottle there the only medication you need?
I took all that stuff.
Okay, that's all you need is that one.
That one, and then I'll write down the times that I take it.
Okay.
They got it though, but I want y'all to see that I've been taking it.
Okay.
I'm not lying to y'all.
Okay, that's fine. Just sit right here for us. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. She's saying that one bottle in there is all that she needs, so she has what she needs. So she's
good to go.
Yeah, she doesn't have the divider or the notebook, so she's checking. Okay. They're checking for your notebook right now.
And this is all hers too. Another thing, since I stopped smoking and drinking, I got a lot of snacks.
Okay.
I got a lot of tea, honey, lemon. And my house, I got ginger. They made it to where when I got home, I ain't got no hot water, I ain't got no lights. Throw away all the food.
You calling today to get that fixed? You calling today to get that fixed, you said?
They got my phone. Somebody just pulled down on me and took one of my phones.
Okay.
The other one in there. Yep, they're mine too.
So she couldn't find the planner.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, she said she can't find it. She did find these though. She said those are yours. She was saying that like all y'all stuff inside is kind of like in one area for the most part. And she said she checked all through there and couldn't find it. So I don't know.
My planner, y'all. Here go my bills. I had an appointment at Light Heap. They made me miss it.
You're requesting a 44? How'd they make you miss it?
They won't let me drive my car. But then she gave me my keys, but she gave me my clearance. They still wouldn't let me drive my car.
But we're not saying you can't drive.
drive. Yeah, I know. If they were. Look at this, y'all.
Well, they're concerned about you.
No, that lady still cleared me. She said, I don't know what y'all talking about. That's what they doing.
So that's two different people, right? Your family's concerned about you one way, and then all the medical, everybody else, there's only so much that we can do unless you want something else done, right?
So, I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm from San Diego, and they don't have nothing but my babies. I don't know what to do. I asked them for help, and they're not helping me.
We said we could get you in touch with some more help. Right?
I got some help. They gave it to me. I got it, y'all. I promise. I got everything I need. Just go do it.
Are you gonna head over to Helping Hands today?
I'm gonna call them.
Oh, they're open. You can probably just go over there.
Yeah. You got your medication?
You got your medication?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm taking it. I wish I could find it so y'all can see when I took it last week.
We believe you.
And when I eat, I'm gonna take my medicine. I couldn't even sleep a few nights. I almost went to the room. I knew I needed it for my license. I threw away all my food. My kids and us need food. I don't know where they at. I think they hurt my man.
They're at their dad's house. They're at their dad's house. They're worried about you too. Everybody just wants you to be okay. That's all it is. No, they're okay. They're okay. They're both good.
My son was screaming for me. He's like, my mom, hear me. She said, my mom. She hear me. I heard him. I tried to get him.
Well, right now you gotta take care of yourself. That's the best way for you to be able to take care of them.
Don't play with my baby.
No one's playing with your baby.
I know. I got me. I see y'all sweating. I'm getting hot too.
It's a little toasty out. It's still early. It's not even 10 yet. It's gonna be hot.
When I get hot, you get hot too.
Yeah.
Y'all blessed. Thank y'all.
You good to go? You good to go?
Yes, I promise.
Okay.
Catch my breath.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I need to do. I wish they had my phone in here, y'all.
Just remember to grab this bag.
Just remember to grab this bag, okay?
I got my phone.
Where's it at?
Should be in here.
What's it look like?
Put it up on the side. Samsung, and the other one was a Motorola.
Okay. I'll go check.
Together, ain't it?
He's gonna go check on it.
Facing to this location. Possibly gonna be from the Goodwill. We've had a previous 911 call from there where Indiana subject calling
We're here to help you.
I remember him.
Yeah, I think he was just talking to you last week, I think, right?
Yeah. Y'all, I don't know what to do, but I can see some help. I called my uncle. I thought he was gonna help me.
Would you like any more help? Would you like any more help today? Want to speak to any doctors or anything? Okay.
Y'all, please.
Check it on your phone. Just check it on your phones right now.
Look here, I'll show you. I'll show you my LIHEAP appointments that they made me miss.
Okay.
You even check LIHEAP?
We believe you.
I'm not gonna go home like that with my babies.
It sounds like your babies are in good hands with their
They
dad.
are. Beautiful daddy. Beautiful like you.
At least they're in good hands. At least they're in good hands.
Yes, sir. Look what they did to my stuff. They put oil all over my stuff. I've been retired since 2014. They hate it. I'm a rehabilitation specialist. I specialize in autism. I just went to school for schizophrenia and dementia and Alzheimer's to take care of my mother.
Where'd you go to school at? Where'd you go to school at?
I took a course and I went to, study it.
Okay.
I'm trying to take care of her. But look what she's doing to me. Hi. Hey. What's Mobile Prices? How are you? Good. How are you? I was telling him I just took a class for dementia and Alzheimer's and schizophrenia to help my mom.
Yeah.
So she might be having Alzheimer's or dementia and I needed to go to school.
Yeah.
I'm also a retired rehabilitation specialist. I specialize in autism.
Yeah.
My own detox business for the last 3 years. Haven't launched it yet. Ain't been able to do nothing.
Yeah. What's going on today?
Just get away from here.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you were seeing just the other day.
Yes, ma'am.
How did that go? Do you feel like it helped?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. I don't even got my phone. You got my phone?
They're checking on your phone right now. They're checking on your phone right now inside. They're looking for it.
I know.
Well, what got everyone cold out here today? You know? And do you feel like you have any thoughts on harm yourself or harm anybody else?
Yeah, my legs are definitely a lot wider than mine.
Are you kind of worried that people are after you or anything like that?
I got these shorts from this company for Patron. They're actually like nice.
Where are your babies at?
That's how expensive they are. I'm pretty sure that was cracking us.
Did you get the medicine inside?
They won't give me the sweater I had.
Next thing you know.
Have you been taking your medicine?
Yeah, and I got it written down. I got the notepad charts that are written down.
Okay.
I need to do something so I can take my next step. They ain't put nothing in.
Yeah.
You didn't get me. Come here. You see it? My plan?
Your plan?
Yeah. I went to the city. Here. You don't know. I need help.
You see a therapist or a counselor?
I got a doctor that's regulated taking the medicine like me. I got all my stuff. I ain't giving me my stuff. I had a life appointment. I got help again. They make sure my water's off, my lights off, my food is gone. I got children, but no food, no water, no light. I've been having my last place here. I've been down there for 5 years. On the corner, see there, on the corner, right there, my mom stay right there, so it was convenient. I ended up going out that way. There's my peaceful, calmer, but I've been hearing the lady gave me my, let me drive. gas, they drank my car from gas, they drank my car from gas. Funny is, I had a friend came to put some gas in my car.
And I got a phone and a shirt.
Boom.
Found all kinds of stuff.
Boom. Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he will. Safe for drug. Safe for drug. Amen. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yes. Yes.
I think they're trying to persuade her to go to the hospital because that's a mental health professional that came up
Let me see
after.
that. Hold on. The clip that hooks into the vent. I got duct tape. You have Gorilla Glue. Because it's the inside, so the cup, and then the hook is inside there, and you hook off this one.
So like I have like a vent.
Just tape it to the vent. Oh, you just tape it to the vent?
Yeah. I got it at home. Swing by and grab it. It's literally like aluminum tape.
Really?
Yeah.
For Dutch ride. For house duct tape.
For house duct tape.
It's not duct tape.
It's not duct tape.
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Like aluminum?
Yeah.
Like 4 air ducts. Like 4 air ducts. I mean, you could probably put it on a duct.
They're trying to persuade her to leave from this location and go get some medical attention because the person that stepped up to the van or SUV rather looks like that's a mental health professional. Looks like they're trying to coax her and convince her to seek mental health services. And I'm going to say it again. I don't know how Sean Grayson did not review the CAT reports to see that 16 hours prior to his visit to Sonia Massey's home, that there were clearly mental health issues going on.
Yeah, I got some of that.
She said this is a
Oh. That's probably your mom's phone that she's looking for, but she's the one that handed it to me. She's in there looking for it after she...
Be able to get everything done? On that safety plan is that mobile crisis number. You're stuck in it. You're going to call, right?
'Cause I got the other one.
It's not as
Something like that.
Oh, that's what?
Coming out to you.
He's still literally trying to convince that woman to go to the hospital, but it's not happening. I don't think she's going to agree to go.
Oh, you got your phone? There you go. All right.
I tried to go boating. I was going to go meet Dad. So I told my dad about the bass tracker. He said, yeah, you can take it out. So I got a bass, that's right. Think about who would want to go out with. Do you think anybody would lonely? As lonely as me right now. And but then my dad called me within like 20 minutes. He's like, oh, I forgot. I haven't drove that thing in like 3 months. I haven't charged the battery. So it'll probably die on me out there. So I wouldn't recommend taking it out. Yep, we're good.
Yep, we're good. Yep. She's good to leave.
So take the boat out. So then, so she had to work the parade up front. And with that, she got back around 3:30, around 4:30, we went to free fuel up there. That's toilet paper. She cleaned the rifle that I made today, and then after we finished dinner, we cleaned the pistols. Yeah, but it was still warm. We probably burned through like maybe 75, 80 rounds.
So this was 16 hours prior to Mr. Sean Grayson going to Sonia Massey's home. This is 16 hours prior to the devastating choice that he made to unalive Sonia Massey in her home after instructing her to get a pot of boiling hot water from the stove. So now we're going to look into his case because for those of you who are not aware, he has been charged with misconduct. Give me a second, guys. I'm staging the next video. He's been charged with, I think he's been removed. Yes, he has been fired. He's been fired from his post as a sheriff's deputy in that area. So he's no longer able to perform deputy duties as he was in the past. And he is currently on trial. Well, not on trial, but alleged. It is alleged. I think it's 3 counts of the M word. If I'm not mistaken, there's 3 counts of the M word. Oh my goodness. Why is my phone doing this? Y'all bear with me, please. Please bear with me. Uno momento, por favor. My phone and my computer are acting crazy. All I'm trying to do is stage the next video. Hey, Susan, how are you? Oh my goodness. Of course, my icon goes away, guys. I don't know what's going on with that icon of mine. But you guys know who you're talking to. So I'm not really pressed. And I just queued up the wrong video. Sorry, guys. I gotta queue up the correct video here. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now we're cooking with butter, guys. Now we're cooking with butter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day on purpose. All of this true crime is really getting deep into the true crime area on this channel has really shown me like there's some really twisted folks in this world. There's some twisted people in this world. And I just want to be clear that while there are some really twisted folks, there's some really wonderful people as well. But let's get into the status on ex-officer Sean Grayson.
Former Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson was in court today.
Why is this not playing?
Former Sangamon County Deputy Sean in court today. Grayson is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting and killing of Sonia Massey. Grayson's attorney, Mark Wyckoff, today told the judge they want to appeal his decision to keep Grayson in.
Hold on.
The judge, they want to appeal his decision to keep Grayson in custody. He also share his thoughts on the case.
What happened to?
And is taking the arguments to the higher courts. He also shared his thoughts on the case.
What happened today is nothing all day long in this courthouse. Basically, pretrial status setting different than what's going to happen all day long in this courthouse. Basically, pretrial status setting.
Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom, but
So he's keeping him in custody
on felony matters. Mr. Grayson is not being
awaiting
treated.
trial as he should. I don't know why he feels he deserves any special treatment just because he was an officer of the law. He should have
differently than any other defendant who walks into this.
Consumed Sonia Massey in her face when he arrived at her home on that call. Guys, I'm having technical difficulties. I don't know if you guys see the screen is going black. Why is this happening right now? Why is my computer acting like this right now, guys? I had this video queued up perfectly, and now it's just buffering. I'll continue to explain where we are in this case update. We've gone over Colt Gray and his incident on May 23rd, 2023, where investigators from the FBI actually visited Colt Gray as well as his father, Colin Gray, and made him aware of a Discord. There was some type of threats on a Discord account that tracked back to their home IP address, warning of a school pew-pewing, where the person was saying famous, similar to the likes of the pew-pewer in so there was that visit, and both acknowledged that it was very dangerous that someone would involve him, and he would never. Coley said he would never even say that in jest. Fast forward 1 year, and he's been charged.
Cameras were not allowed in the court.
4 counts of felony unaliving at his new school, and his father is facing similar charges because of his negligence. Because after that meeting with the detectives and investigators, they found out by way of Colin Gray explaining that he actually bought the weapon used in the mass pew-pewing as a Christmas present for his son. Now, we also over a video of Sonia Massey 16 hours prior to Sean Grayson arriving at her door. And clearly there were some issues there of mental health needs. As an officer of the law, Sean Grayson had access to what's called a CAD report. The CAD report is a report of every single visit made to your home by law enforcement. So he could have seen that report had he done his job. Let's see if this video is going to allow me to play it, guys.
Courtroom, but we have asked the judge to allow them for future hearings. Don't miss a video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today for more Central Illinois news.
Okay, so that was that. That was that without bond. Hold on a second. I'm trying to close this window. Why won't this window close, guys? There. Okay, I'm closing the window. Now, we're going to move into what he's being called the court jumper or something to that effect. But his name is Deborah, and I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly, the first name, Redding. Mr. Redding was to be seen in front of a judge in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was being revoked. His probation was being revoked. And he decided, once the judge announced that she was not, in fact, not going to suggest probation or house arrest for him, he decided to run and jump across the bench of this judge and attack her violently. It took several individuals to get him off of the judge. The judge, when she went on the stand, explained that clumps of her hair was all over the floor. Her head was, she definitely explained something to where you can assume she had a severe concussion, because she could not recall a lot of the details of the attack. Majority of her recollections stemmed around the chaos that it created in the courtroom once he attacked her. Now, his trial started, I want to say, hold on one second, guys. Let me cue this video up. There we go. But she ultimately, testified in his trial, which, if I'm not mistaken, started last week. And she testified. She was a strong witness in this case. Very strong. Very poised. I mean, of course, she's a judge. She's been sitting on the bench for years. And once her testimony was done, her law clerk took to the stand. Her law clerk is someone that has known her for over 19 years, I believe. I think he's like probably one of her kids' friends. And his testimony was extremely descriptive of how, just step by step, what happened, what occurred from his vantage point. And once the law clerk completed his testimony, which was very good and very descriptive, Mr. Redding opted to plead guilty. Now, there was a hearing held in reference to his guilty plea on September 6, 2024, in which the court accepted his guilty plea by mental illness. However, we're going to listen to the stipulations of that acceptance, as well as what his potential fate will be going forward. So let's get into this. Hopefully I don't have any glitches, guys. Guys on the replay, please be sure to give me a like, smash, comment, and share. If there are any cases that you guys would like me to cover or are currently watching that you find interesting, I am open to suggestion. You can hit me on IG at MEDAYA_2021, or just put it in the comments here under this video. My computer is buffering. Oh my goodness. Why is the computer doing this? There's absolutely nothing wrong with my Wi-Fi, my connections. Oh my gosh. You see, this is what happens in a live environment, guys. You never know what you're going to get or what's going to happen. You never know. You never know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pause this. We'll pause this video and allow it to load. And then we'll go over Bryan Kohberger, which is another big case that I'm following. For those of you who do not know, Bryan Kohberger is currently indicted on quadruple M-word. Bryan Kohberger's defense has recently won in court their argument for a change of venue. They have argued for a change of venue because they believe that Bryan Kohberger did not receive a fair trial in Latah County, protected by his rights, the United States and Idaho Constitution, because of the pervasive, inflammatory, and often inaccurate and highly prejudicial publicity and the small size of the jury pool in the area. Now, a part of their argument is that a change of venue is necessary under Idaho Rule 21 and Idaho Code 19-1801. Abbreviated factual background is the media coverage of the case the media covered that later because State versus Bryan Kohberger began in the early afternoon of November 13, 2022, when news broke of 4 unalivings in Latah County, Idaho. Intense media coverage ensued for 6 weeks during the police investigation prior to the arrest of Kohberger. Daily updates were available from Moscow Police Department. Herein, the is pulled, I think it was, first of all, their argument to the court was 300 plus pages for this change of venue. A lot of those pages were attached exhibits. One of those exhibits were all of the news briefings that were released to the citizens of Moscow, Idaho. Often participating in the updates or press releases was the Latah County prosecutor and chief of police, James Fry. These broadcasts were played on television news stations as well as on digital media. Social media covered the investigation, with MPD, with Moscow Police Department, updating its Facebook page and providing press release and media statements regularly. See Exhibit A. MPD press releases and MPD's investigated included law enforcement, state police, and FBI. Media coverage, particularly in the market covering Latah County. Another argument that his defense brought up was that Bryan Kohberger could not receive a fair trial in Latah County as protected by his rights under both the United States and Idaho Constitution because of the pervasive and inflammatory and often inaccurate publicity and the small size of the jury pool. The great value of the trial by jury certainly consists in its fairness and impartiality. Those who most prize the institution prize it because it furnishes a tribunal which may be expected to be uninfluenced by an undue bias of the mind. I have always conceived and still conceived an impartial jury as required by the common law and as secured by the Constitution must be composed of men who will fairly hear the testimony which may be offered to them, and being in their verdict and bring in their verdict according to that testimony and according to law arising from it. This is not to be expected. Certainly, the law does not expect it, where the jurors, before they hear the testimony, have deliberately formed and delivered an opinion that the person whom they are to try is guilty or innocent of the charge alleged against him. The State versus Kohberger Brian Christopher Kohberger, once arrested, quickly became a recognized name. The investigation into the details of 4 college students had captured the attention of the community, the state, the country, and even beyond the United States long before the arrest of Mr. Kohberger. Since his arrest, interest in the charges, who he is, and his background continue rather than fade over time. The continuous nature of media coverage, often inaccurate and misleading, the impact of the media coverage, and the small size of the community make the case against Mr. Kohberger extreme. A change of venue is necessary and appropriate pursuant to statute and rule, Idaho Criminal Rule 21 and Idaho Code 19-1801. Provide direction to the court to change venue upon finding an impartial jury cannot be had in the county where the indictment was found. The foregoing argument related to constitutional protections apply with regard to Idaho Criminal Rule 21, A. Without repeating those arguments, we turn to appropriateness of venue change pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 12B, authorizing a court to change venue for other reasons. Idaho Criminal Rule 12B allows the court to transfer the proceedings to another county for the convenience of parties and witnesses and in the interest of justice. Now, the state responded to his defense request. I just pulled out key components of the state's argument because, like I said, their argument was 300 plus pages. There was no way I was going to sit here and read 300 plus pages. So I just pinpointed the key points of their argument. Now, the state's argument They say the survey data provided by Dr. Edelman is inadequate to justify a change of venue. They often go into specifics such as it is not reported how many individuals declined to take the survey, raising serious concerns about non-responsive bias. Defendant has failed to establish that a fair and impartial trial cannot be had in Latah County. The defendant has argued that due to pervasive publicity, in this case, a change of venue is appropriate. Defendant further claims that the atmosphere in Latah County has been utterly corrupted by media coverage. They go on to cite cases that support their argument. The court can fashion remedial measures for jury selection short of changing venue. Because the court has not been presented with evidence that a jury pool in Ada County, which is where they're trying to get it moved to. Ada County is like in Boise, would be any less likely to prejudge the defendant than in Latah County. The best way to ensure that the defendant gets a fair trial is to safeguard the jury selection process. First, the court can convene a large jury pool. As noted elsewhere in this brief, if the court were to summon 1,800 jurors, only 1 in 100 would have to be chosen in order to select a jury of 12 plus 6 alternates. Next, the court could send out questionnaires to each of the jurors to gauge knowledge of the case. Media exposure, biases, and other views. The court could then allow the parties ample time to review each questionnaire, and parties could then confer to discuss whether they had reached any stipulations as to the disqualifications for cause. After that, the court could take up the issue of any disputed jurors and determine whether to dismiss those jurors for cause. Then those jurors whose questionnaires process poses initial review could be called back to the courthouse for an actual voir dire. Now, what is a voir dire? A voir dire is a preliminary examination of a witness or juror by a judge or counsel. Even if the court were to find a fair, impartial jury cannot be impaneled in Latah County, the court may impanel a jury from a neighboring county rather than moving the trial 300 miles south. Even if the court were to be persuaded that a fair and impartial jury could not be impaneled in Latah County, the court could rely on Idaho Code 19-1816 and draw upon a jury pool from a neighboring county to invoke Idaho Code 19-1816. The court must find that a fair and impartial jury cannot be impaneled in the county where the criminal complaint, information, or indictment was filed, that it would be more economical to transport the jury than to transfer the pending action, and that justice would be served thereby. The court should decline the defendant's invitation to disregard long settled precedent establishing voir dire as the proper procedure for addressing bias. The survey relied upon by the defendant did not even ask respondents the most critical question of all, whether they could set aside their biases and based on their decision only on the evidence at trial. Instead, defendant and his experts asked this court to simply assume that the survey respondents, and by extension, all potential jurors in Lathrop County who have been exposed to media information about this case, are incapable of setting aside their biases and serving on a jury. The court should decline the defendant's invitation to disregard long settled precedents establishing voir dire as the proper procedure for addressing bias. Transferring the venue would not be convenient for the parties and witnesses, nor would the defendant next argues that the court should change the venue under Idaho notice, right? I don't know. Criminal Code, Criminal Rule 21B, which provides that upon defendant's motion, a court may change the venue to another county for the convenience of parties and witnesses and in the interest of justice. This Idaho criminal rule addressing venue is distinguishable from its civil counterpart, Idaho Rule of Civil Procedure 40.1, which allows for a venue change for convenience, but is limited in the scope to the convenience of the witnesses and the ends of justice. The defendant does not even address the convenience of the parties and failed to establish that the change of venue in this case is convenient for the witnesses or in the interest of justice. Now, his lawyers, like I said, prior to reading that, have won. They won this argument for change of venue. Now, when the Judge John Judge, presided and gave his response, he actually granted the change of venue and also documented that he would not be the judge. He would be no longer presiding over the case. I'm guessing that Judge John Judge is not traveling. He'll change the venue, but he has no interest in traveling outside of Lathrop County to preside over this case. So the case of Brian Kohberger will be held in a different county to be determined at this point. I'm assuming it's going to be Ada County because that's where his defense attorneys indicated they wanted it in. But I will keep you guys posted on Brian Kohberger. Looks like my video is ready to play ball. I hope it is. I just hope it is. So let's try to get into Mr. Redding. Let's do that right now, guys.
You all may be seated. You all may be seated. Okay. Are there...
Oh my goodness.
Okay, are we ready to proceed? The representations that you'd like to make.
Why is it buffering? Why?
Are there any representations that you'd like to make?
It is my understanding that Mr. Redding is going to plead
It is my understanding that
to all of the
Mr.
charges
Redding
second amended.
is going to plead guilty but mentally ill to all of the charges.
The state is willing to
This is the
specifically
second
allow
amendment.
him to withdraw his
Or
prior
second
plea of
amendment
guilty
tonight.
so that he can enter pleas of
That
guilty
was previously filed.
that counts 2 for
The
7.
state is willing to
He's also
stipulate
pleading
to allow him to withdraw his prior pleas of guilty so that he can enter pleas of guilty.
It is still buffering.
That counts 2 through 7. and he's also pleading guilty but mentally ill.
I'm getting really irritated with this.
And that's our understanding, Your Honor. He's prepared to go forward with the plea agreement.
Okay.
Guys, we'll probably just run with the audio because I'm not gonna. This video is driving me crazy.
There are ongoing negotiations to decide will argue for a lawful sentence under the statute.
Okay. All right. Mr. Redden?
Yes.
I'm going to be asking your lawyer to state of the court
All right.
the substance of the plea agreement. In other words,
Mr.
the
Redden?
primary and most important
I'm going
terms
to
of
be asking
negotiations or agreement between you and the state.
your lawyer to
Actually,
state
this is
in
a
open
guilty
court
plea memorandum.
the substance
Okay.
of
I
of
want
the
you to
plea
listen
agreement.
carefully
In
as
other words,
after
the
your lawyers
primary,
are
the most
speaking. I'm
important
going to
terms
ask
of
you if you
the
heard him
negotiations or
and you
agreement
agree
between
that
you and the
this is
state.
what the parties have agreed to.
Actually, this is a guilty plea
Right.
memorandum. Okay. I want you to listen carefully as after your lawyer's done speaking. I'm going to ask you if you heard him and if you agree that this is what the parties.
Now he's the guy that pled guilty in the middle of his trial. I think he realized that the testimony and the cards were literally stacked against
He's
him.
agreed to plead guilty, but mentally ill to count one, attempted murder, victim 60 years of age or older. Count two, battery on a protected person, resulting in substantial bodily harm. Victim over 60 years of age or older. Count three, intimidating a public.
Performance of act or neglect of duty in willful or wanton disregard of safety of persons or
Count
property.
four, battery.
Now his attorneys are reading in his guilty plea into the record because he's accepting a guilty plea.
Performance of act or neglect of duty in willful or wanton disregard of safety of persons or property,
Unlawful act related to human excrement.
resulting in substantial bodily harm or death.
Okay.
Count six,
And
battery by
this is what I will
prison.
do
Count
once I
seven,
canvass Mr.
unlawful
Redden.
act related to human excrement.
But his
or
guilty plea
bodily
is based on,
fluid.
he says this guilty but mentally ill.
And this is what I will do once I can.
I will go ahead
Campus,
and
Mr. Redden, I will go ahead and allow him to withdraw his guilty plea with respect to the
All right.
counts 2 through.
Did you hear your lawyer just state the substance of the guilty
So,
plea memorandum?
did I get the numbers right?
Yes.
Okay.
Accurately state.
All right, Mr. Redden,
Yes.
did you hear your lawyer just state the substance of the guilty plea memorandum?
Terms that you had agreed in order to resolve the criminal charges lodged against you.
Yes.
Do you read, write, and
Did he accurately state the terms that you had agreed in order to resolve the criminal charges lodged against you?
guilty plea memorandum?
I did.
Did you review the
Do you
second
read, write,
amendment?
and understand the English language?
Okay, did you receive a copy of that as well?
Did you receive a copy
Do
of
you need me to read the second amendment?
guilty plea memorandum?
Indictment
I did.
before we take your plea?
No, no.
Okay.
Did you
Before
review
accepting
the second amended
there's a
indictment?
question I would have to ask you in order to assure me.
Did you receive a copy of that as well?
I do not understand any of my
Do
questions.
you need me to read the second amended,
If at any time you wish to take a break in the proceedings so that you can discuss matters in private with your lawyer, will you let me know so that I can give you an opportunity to do so?
indictment now, before we take your plea?
No.
Where were you born?
Las Vegas, Nevada?
What is the
Okay.
extent of your
Before
education?
accepting your guilty plea, there's a number of questions I'm going to have to ask you in order to assure me you are entering a valid plea. If you do not understand any of my
I don't
questions.
know what's going on with this video, but it's buffering. Long and short of this one is he has submitted a plea of guilty, and he will have to prove that he does have a mental illness that impacted his decision and his choices the day that he jumped across that judge's bench and attacked her. But those are all the case updates I have for you guys. I gotta run. I have some other things that I have to do today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, BB. Thank you, Lisa says what? Libby Lou. Let me see who else came in. Kaya and Kayla's mom. Thank you so much for being here. Bush babies, you are appreciated as well. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go on ahead and subscribe today. Set your notifications to all so that you are notified when I go live or add new content. Until next time,